Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Innovative Institute. I am Cindy Main from the Research and Curriculum Unit here at Mississippi State University, and we are so excited that you chose to spend your day with us today. Today, during the Innovative Institute, you will be able to connect with educators from across the state and from across the nation to discover new ideas to take back to our classrooms, schools, and communities that will change the lives of our students in the year to come. To officially welcome us to this year's Innovative Institute that has gone virtual, please join me in welcoming Wendy Clemens, the Executive Director of the Office of Secondary Education and Professional Development at the Mississippi Department of Education. Welcome, Wendy.
Good morning. I'm Wendy Clemens, Executive Director for Secondary Education with the Mississippi Department of Education. And on behalf of Dr. Carrie Wright, State Superintendent, and Dr. Nathan Oakley, Deputy Superintendent for Academic Education, I want to welcome you to the 4th Annual Innovative Conference. By virtue of this welcome not being delivered live, serves as a reminder that we are all living in an unprecedented time. We all find ourselves trying to survive in our current crisis while attempting to plan for a future that is uncertain, and yet we all concluded that attending a conference to learn more about innovation is time well spent. I believe that our only hope for success in the future is innovation. History shows us that organizations in crisis have a lot to lose if they do nothing, but organizations not facing immediate peril may instead stay complacent, not trying anything new. As bad as the COVID-19 pandemic has hit all of our institutions, I believe that it also gives us the catalyst to move forward with innovation, to be bold, and to try something new. My hope for today is that each of you will learn something that will plant a seed of opportunity that encourages you and your students to persevere and accelerate through the crisis. Throughout the conference, if there is anything that I can do to assist you in this process, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, Wendy, for your leadership and support for education in Mississippi. We would also like to welcome and congratulate this year's recipients of the distinction of Districts of Innovation. And we are really excited to have with us today Tupelo Public School District and Rankin County School District. These two school districts have been awarded for the 2019-2020 District of Innovation by the State Board of Education. Joining us today from Tupelo Public School District, we're excited to have Stuart McMillan. And Stuart McMillan is the Innovation Program Facilitator for Tupelo Public School District. So good morning, Stuart. Welcome. We're so glad to have you. If you could just start by telling us why Tupelo Public School District wanted to apply as a District of Innovation.
Thank you, Cindy. It's a pleasure to be here today, and we at the Tupelo Public School District feel honored to have been given the District of Innovation distinction. We started this process in September of 2018 and wanted to ground ourselves in what are the greatest needs as seen by all of our key stakeholders, our students, our teachers, our parents, and our community members. And we really aligned on what are the greatest needs and then how do we find innovative programs to meet those needs. And all of this really falls under the umbrella of the Tupelo Public School District is committed to preparing all students for college and career success in alignment with our mission to equip students to be successful in a global society. And we're really grateful that as a part of that, our board is very committed and added a board goal to define what is college and career readiness. And our community really saw that as the greatest need. So that is really the main driving force behind our application is making sure all students are college and career ready. And as we all know, we want to do things to benefit all students, but we also want to identify what are subgroups of students that really need additional support. How do we make sure that students who are low income, students with special education, English learners, that we really support and target those groups that have specific needs? And I'd be remiss if I didn't also give a shout out to Dr. Piku, our superintendent, who when he came into this position, his whole mentality is one single heartbeat. We all know that we are a team, we are a family, and the one single heartbeat philosophy represents those moments when good people of honest intent come together to do whatever is necessary to achieve uncommon results. And that's really what we want to do. We want to be innovative, we want to all come together, we want to meet the needs of our students, specifically those subgroups, as well as making sure all students are set up for success.
What are some of the key points, programs that are going to be a part of your district's innovation plan, and how do you feel that they may impact student success?
Great question. Well, at the core of our application, we feel strongly that being innovative and making sure all students are set up for college and career success starts from early childhood all the way up through 12th grade. So our application is structured with three big buckets. The first bucket is early childhood up through elementary school, and that's really about career opportunities. How do we make sure students have the foundation, the building blocks? We're structured so that students have opportunities to learn about a variety of careers while also getting that foundational educational learning. Then once you transition to middle school, and really starting in 6th grade, so we bucketed middle school as 6th through 8th grade, how do we offer career exploration? So students are starting to target their focus based on their interest. And then at the high school level, how do we make sure that we focus on career enhancement? That by the time students get through 9th through 12th grade, they have an idea of what they're interested in, and they can really focus and deep dive into those. So looking at those, I know we don't want to go over all of our programs, but at the elementary level, we have a TPSD discovery program, early childhood, focused on students who've never been in a structured daycare program, to really set them up for success with kindergarten. How do we build some foundational skills? And then looking ahead at the elementary level, we've implemented Project Lead the Way. So how do we make sure that students focus on problem solving, group work, specifically in the tracks of engineering and biomedical science, which are the two areas we've focused on so far. Moving up to the middle school and looking at that career exploration, we're also implementing, starting next year, Project Lead the Way. And then we've implemented a PACE program, a program specifically targeting over age undercredited students, which is the first time you see one of those subgroups of students that we want to make sure we're better supporting. And then finally, looking at the high school level, we implemented this year and look forward to expanding and enhancing our middle college program. So allowing students to both graduate high school with their diploma and an associate's degree in partnership with Itawamba Community College. And then we've also implemented Project Search, which is a program targeting special education students that's a partnership with the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services and North Mississippi Health Services, our hospital, where we have students that actually spend their day at our hospital and are allowed to participate in internships there, to develop their skills, to build their resume with the goal of long-term employment. So those are kind of some of the key programs at each level that we're looking at. And I'm happy if you'd like for me to dive into a couple of those, that might make the most sense. Which one would be kind of the most helpful for me to look at?
Stuart, I know that in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of emphasis with ESSA, the Every Student Succeeds Act. And hearing you talk about the subgroup with the special education students, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I'll give a shout out to Rankin County, our fellow District of Innovation. They actually implemented Project Search the year prior to us. They were the first program in the state, and we're blessed to have implemented this year. I think Project Search really addresses a lot of the needs of ESSA in terms of how do we make sure all students are set up for success. And we know at the end of the day, success is variable. People have different definitions of what that is. But I think we at the school district really feel strongly that career success, that setting up these students to be able to be successful in a career pathway, to have meaningful employment, to be able to have a salary and health insurance and live independently, that this is really something that in the past has not been a focus. There's been some focus on life skills and setting these students up for success, but Project Search research was founded at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. They have a track record of success with students across the country and across the world now. They've expanded. And this program really allows them to both get those employment skills, develop those soft skills. They have a curriculum that they follow with a teacher from our school district who is facilitating that instruction. And then they also have a partnership with the hospital where they have mentors and individuals in each of the departments where there are internships. And they're allowed to do and to work similar to any individual who doesn't have a disability in those internship sites. I think it's been really exciting to see those students flourish. We've had 8 students this year to complete that program, and at least 2 of those students in their internships actually ended up being the only individuals at their hospital who were doing the work that they were doing and doing it extremely well, to the point where those managers wanted to make sure those students would be hired in those roles. So you see with making sure we focus on those special education students, we both want them to have that book learning and that ability, but a lot of it is, how do they have those soft skills? How do they communicate? How do they deal with adversity? If they're in a situation where they aren't getting along with a coworker, what does that look like? How do they develop the skills necessary to complete their task? Conflict resolution. So I think there's a lot going on there, and I'm really hopeful that with Rankin County and Tupelo Public School District and the other school districts that are implementing this program, that we'll see it continue to develop across the state. I do think it has the best interest of our special education students, has a track record of success, and I look forward to our state having similar success to what they're seeing nationally.
Stuart, what do you feel that this plan is going to mean for your district, your culture, and also your community as you move forward now as a district of innovation?
Well, I think first and foremost, our community and all stakeholders were at the core of creating this plan. So I hope that our community feels vested in this work and feels like the work that we're doing is in alignment with what the community saw as our greatest needs. So I think it's validating to have this status. It's validating to see the programs that both have already come to fruition and the things that are coming down the pipeline, specifically with looking at career academies and how do we make sure at the high school level that all students really are focused on that enhancement, have targeted pathways to set them up for success. I think in terms of our schools and our culture, that what we've seen so far is that our programs have been well received with Project Lead the Way, that students are really engaged, that they like involved in that group work, hands-on learning, etc. And as you move up with Project Search, having those direct career connections, that students see that alignment. So I think at its core, our programs really strive to be authentic learning experiences, that there is a direct connection to career pathways. And how do we continue to emphasize that? How do we continue to involve our community to make sure we're meeting those needs? We've been really blessed here with our Community Development Foundation has been very heavily involved, the Create Foundation, Itawamba Community College, Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, Toyota, North Mississippi Health Services. We have a lot of great partners in this work that both have helped financially. Toyota has been a huge partner in funding some of our programs, as well as just making sure that we have those connections to industry where we can make sure that we are aligning. We want our students to be able to be set up for success, that if they would like to stay, and ideally they would, that we can be working in our own community. And that really needs to start with, what is our industry here? How do students know about those opportunities? How do we better partner to set them up for success? So I think it starts at the beginning, it goes all the way up, but it'll have a very positive effect on our school and our culture, as well as hopefully continue to strengthen our community partnership and connections.
Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to sharing more opportunities with Tupelo Public School District with the rest of the state, and we hope you enjoy the Innovative Institute.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Have a great rest of your day.
We are now joined by Rankin County School District, where we have Angie Graham, who serves as the Director of Secondary Curriculum and Instruction, and Dr. Cassandra Vanderford, who is the Director of Career and Technical Education and Acceleration. Thank you both for joining us today. So to get started, could you please share why Rankin County School District decided to become a District of Innovation?
Rankin County School District has been a part of the Innovation Lab Network for a few years now, where we explored several different innovative ideas to allow our students to have such a rich experience with their academic and their school career overall, while also allowing us as educators to provide a richer and more rigorous level of instruction in the classrooms. And we wanted to continue that and to go a step further with innovation. So that's why we moved into applying for the District of Innovation.
What are some of the key points and maybe the key programs that are going to be a part of your district's innovative plan, and how do you feel that they will help impact student success?
We've got multiple parts of our plan. We do a big focus, obviously, on the academic side, but we also have brought in some focus on the CTE side of things. A big push that we have done while we were part of the lab network was what we call time redesign, where we have looked at individual school schedules versus the resources available. And what I mean by resources is the teacher units compared to student-teacher ratios. And we have been able to redesign their master schedules to free up for common planning, not just within a building, but across the district. So we could really go deeper with teachers across all 8 zones that we have. And then it also allowed schools to free up time within their schedule to provide one-on-one enrichment opportunities and one-on-one remediation opportunities for students that we were not otherwise able to provide because of the way that the schedule constraints kind of kept us from being able to do that. Another thing that we were able to do with time redesign was to embed technology into the 4 core content areas at one of our middle schools. So the technology was into, they co-taught with English teacher, they co-taught with a math teacher, they co-taught with science teacher, and they also co-taught with the social studies teacher. So it was a true co-teaching experience for students, so they were able to see that actually embedded into core content. So that's one part of what we have done with innovation. We also want to look at doing really creative and fun things like with PE. We want students to be able to go and do some community work like cutting grass, going and doing dance lessons with some people that may be in a retirement home or things along those lines that allows them to meet the standards in the curriculum, but it's giving back to the community because we all know schools are such an integral part of the community, and it helps just continue to build the community in smaller, more rural areas. We also have another component of District of Innovation. I'm gonna let Dr. Vanford speak to that.
The third component of our District of Innovation plan is what we're calling our 2+2 Academy. It came about, we were exploring some middle college and early college. We had students we actually have some students who graduate with over 30 dual credit hours already. And so we had these students we talked to some of the students and the teachers and the principals, and they wanted something similar, but not necessarily to leave the campus. We found, especially with our career and technical students, one of the reasons some of them chose not to, even though they were going into a career and technical field, they wouldn't go to our CTE center because they just didn't want to leave their high school campus. And, we all know that part of that is that peer group. They want to be around their peers. They want to be involved in the things that are going on in their schools. So they wanted to be part of middle college or early college, but they didn't want to leave their high school campus. So we played around with some different things and taught with Hines. Hines was a great partner in this and came up with this 2+2 Academy where our students could fulfill all their high school graduation requirements by the end of their sophomore year. And then that junior year, solely on either dual credit, or if they were choosing a CTE pathway, they could free up their schedule maybe their senior year so they could go to the Hines Greenville Road branch and pursue a CTE pathway. But regardless, whether they had an academic pathway for an associate's degree or a CTE pathway, they could possibly graduate with both their high school diploma and an associate's degree through the 2+2 Academy. And in our large schools, they could totally do it on their high school campus without it ever leaving.
What do you feel that this plan means for the Rankin County School District and the culture and the community going forward?
I think that the community is going to be very excited about the opportunities that we are providing for the students, specifically with the middle college idea. That's so innovative, and it's really assisting the students as they move forward and whatever their next journeys may be in life, whether that's post-secondary or moving ahead into a career field. I also think that they are going to see the impact of what we've done with time redesign because we already have seen the impact in test scores. We've seen the test scores and the growth in the students, but I think parents are going to notice the deeper, richer, more real-world hands-on type experiences that we're able to provide because of what time redesign has allowed us to do as far as freeing up time and really working hand in hand and close with teachers. The other side, I think that they will be very excited. The community is going to be really excited about the connection with the schools, with the idea of the PE and working through, what that may look like. We're not totally sure what it's going to look like just yet, but just making that connection with students, teaching them good character ed skills and, giving back and helping people, and then providing a service that might benefit the community as a whole as well.
Same thing that Angie said. I think it gives us the opportunity to implement some of these research-based strategies and personalize education for students, which is part of what innovation is. I also think from the community standpoint, when you talk about changing the community, you're looking at, and especially with the innovation, because you're increasing the educational capacity of the students and the parents, and that's going to, together change the economics of the community. It's going to bring business and industry in, because we know that the business and industry follows education. So when you have a good educational system, you're going to have more business and industry. And then with the culture, the only way you can change culture is to implement a subculture. And once we start implementing this, kind of like when we had career academies, at first no one knew what they were, but then once, over a few years, they became really popular, and it got to the point that everybody wanted to be in a career academy. And so I think the same thing with this innovation of teaching and learning. Everybody's going to want to be a part of it. And it's going to start by making small incremental changes, which is what the District of Innovation Plan is going to let us do.
Well, Angie and Cassandra, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to share your District of Innovation Plan. We look forward to opportunities where schools could come and visit and learn from you, and for you to find opportunities to share exactly what you're doing. So we look forward to the next couple of years under the District of Innovation, and congratulations again. And we look forward to talking with you later, and enjoy the Innovative Institute. Thank you, Tupelo and Rankin County School Districts, and again, congratulations. This year, education has had to face tremendous challenges as teachers and administrators have worked tirelessly to continue to support our students. From drive-in visits by teachers, Zoom meetings checking on students, to virtual graduation ceremonies, education will never be the same. With that thought, as you attend sessions today, we ask that you consider the following guiding questions. What have we learned from this time of modified instruction that might redefine our innovative practices when we're back in our school buildings, such as relationships, equity, technology, grading, and testing? Also, how might we redefine education in the midst of this crisis and beyond to recognize the spectrum of how learning occurs and to implement more innovative educational practices? These guiding questions can be found in your program and also on the events website. During our final session today, we will spend time discussing these two guiding questions. If you would like to receive CEU or semi-credits for today's conference, you will need to attend this session. Again, thank you for choosing to attend the 2020 Virtual Innovative Institute. But before we break off to our first session of the day, I would like to welcome back Brock Turnipseed, who is going to share with you information on where to find tech support and other information about the Innovative Institute. Brock?
Thank you, Cindy. On the schedule page that you access to attend this session, you'll see links to all the breakout sessions, as well as George Carosa's keynote and work sessions, and the closing session. You can move your cursor over a session title and get a description and the target audience for that session. Be sure to click Attend Session on the session you would like to attend at least 2 minutes before its scheduled start time to allow facilitators an opportunity to allow you entrance from the waiting room. Should you have a need for technical support during the Innovative Institute, please email helpdesk@rcu.msstate.edu or click the Need Help button at the top of the Sessions page. Include the session title in your subject line, and we will attempt to assist you as soon as possible. The first breakout sessions begin at 8:30 a.m. Thank you for attending the 2020 Innovative Institute and enjoy your day.